Now, the second resource that enabled me to learn more about business was a video created by a gentleman called Tim Sales. Now, Tim Sales is a gentleman who's actually retired from the network marketing industry, having had a very, very successful career and being the top income earner in his company. The reason that he's retired is actually to create training materials for new network marketers, but also to explore new markets where network marketing companies can move into to develop their business. Now, this particular video that he's created is a flash video, almost like a caricature of Tim Sales himself, called What the Wealthy Buy on Payday. And in this video it explains the concepts of how a business owner would tend to reinvest money back into acquiring more business assets, whereas an employee would tend to spend their money on things like luxuries or their home or their bills or their cars and that kind of thing. So what I've actually done for you is create a diagram just so I can explain this concept in a little bit more detail. So what we have here on this diagram, on the left hand side we have the employees, and on the right hand side we have the entrepreneurs. So if we look at the employees first of all, the employee has a job. That job pays them a weekly or a monthly salary which goes directly into their bank account. This blue arrow here represents income and the red arrow represents expenses or outgoings. Now these might typically include rent or mortgage, it might include lease on a car or bills and that kind of thing, but it also includes all of the employees' leisure and social activities. Now, I'm sure that many people are in a fortunate position where at the end of the month they are able to save a small amount of money, but that isn't the case for everyone. And in fact, in today's economic climate, it's more often the case that people are in a situation where the money runs out before the month runs out. And maybe this is something you can relate to. You find that the last few days of the month you're sitting there almost counting the days before your next income check comes in so that you can pay your bills or so that you can go out with friends. And as I said before, that's an unfortunate reality for a lot of people who have a low paid employed position. Now on the other side we have the entrepreneurs, and the entrepreneur's mindset is very different. The entrepreneur's primary goal is to acquire income producing assets. Now that may be businesses that they build, it may be real estate that they purchase, it may be things like patents and that kind of thing that they're actually able to purchase and then leverage. So that's the primary goal of the entrepreneur. Now what this means is if they have a number of income producing assets, they're going to have a number of income streams coming into their bank account. Now the entrepreneur obviously is going to have outgoings, but what they tend to do or aim to do is to actually purchase more income producing assets before they pay their bills, and it's called it's a principle that's often described as paying themselves first. They're acquiring more assets which are going to bring them more income so that they're actually able to continue that cycle. The reason this arrow here is much smaller is because the majority of the money is reinvested, but then there is still money left over for paying the essentials like the bills and also for those leisure and social activities. Another important point to note here is that not all of these income producing assets require a huge amount of money to acquire in the first place. Some of these might be small businesses that can be built very, very easily and very efficiently from home, or internet businesses, and this is the kind of thing that I'm going to be showing you and exploring with you today. The other important thing to realise is that I'm not suggesting that you should give up your job. I'm not suggesting that you should quit your job to build a business. Many of these businesses, these small income producing assets which can grow and develop, can actually be built on a part-time basis on the side of a job. Some of these can be built with as little as maybe 5 to 10 hours of time invested on a weekly basis. Okay, so just to kind of clarify a few more points relating to business, and then we'll sum this up. So here are two very important questions that I wanted to elaborate on for you. Now the first question is, what are changes in the economy showing us? Now what we're seeing today is because of a global marketplace, because people are able to trade abroad and are able to actually employ people abroad to work for them, we're seeing that a lot of companies are now outsourcing work. So what this is doing is it's actually levelling the playing field. It means that people in, say, a call centre in India can take the work of an employee here in the UK. And this is a concept that's actually changing the nature of business today. The unfortunate thing is for the person who's trained here to work in a call centre, if that call centre is outsourced, then obviously they're going to be in a position where they're no longer employed. So this is something that's really important to consider, and maybe to consider about the job or the environment that you're currently working in. The other thing that we need to look at is advancements in technology, particularly the internet and telecommunications. Basically what we're seeing here is, once again, because people are able to communicate very, very easily with people hundreds or even thousands of miles away any time of the day, it's no longer necessary to be directly in contact or in close proximity to the people that you're working with or the people that you're building business with. I actually work with a number of people out in the United States, and services such as Skype make that very, very easy for me to do. Also, things like webinars and telecasts provide a way for me to train people in my team without actually having to sit down face to face with them. Many of the people in my business that I'm actually partnering with, I've never actually met face to face, despite the fact that I've been working with them for a number of years and have had a successful business relationship with them. The other thing that I want you to consider is, does everyone suffer during times of change? Is it acceptable to say that because we're seeing these changes in the economy, everyone's suffering? Now, I know that that's something that the news and the media would lead us to believe, but obviously there are people that are actually benefiting from these changes. Think about the business owner who's able to outsource his call centre to India. He's going to make huge savings on his expenses, which is actually going to make his business more profitable. The same is true for developments with the internet. If you're able to position yourself in such a way so that you're able to capitalise on change, then there's no longer any reason to fear change. So I guess the statement that I want you to take away from this part is that you need to move with the times, otherwise you're going to get left behind, and it's really, really important to be willing to do that. Okay, so in summary, the entrepreneur's goal is financial freedom, whereas an employee's goal is financial security. And then I just want you to think about what your long-term priority is. Are you looking for security, or are you looking for freedom? But I also want you to think in the back of your mind what we spoke about. How secure is your safe, secure job actually going to be in 5 years' time? How secure is it actually going to be in 10 years' time? And could you actually take advantage of generating additional income streams? Would that actually be something that would benefit you? So just to clarify that again, what is your long-term priority? Are you looking for security, or are you looking for freedom? If you're looking for freedom, then it's time to start developing that entrepreneur's mindset. If you're happy with that perceived security, then perhaps you're better off as an employee.